been a while. We both were on vacation.
We did the intro thing. We did our little tap thing.
Oh, 3, 2, 1.
Tap. All right. I guess.
Speaking of taps. No, can't segue that hard into it, but.
Oh, submissions. Oh, Abu Dhabi. So last time we saw each other was last month, early last month. So a lot's happened since then. So I can't say vacation. I went on a trip. I went on a trip to Portugal with my wife, who's Portuguese. And you went to?
I went to Key West, Florida.
Key West, Florida, which is, like you were saying,
Hold on,
almost underwater. Oh, the light. I guess we could leave that on in the footage, I suppose. Let's keep it. Okay. But,
oh, you know what? Let's do this. Key West, Florida. Remember how you asked me where I went? And
oh, yeah. All right. See,
Key West.
We just keep all that in, I guess.
Okay.
See how.
That's my attempt at TV magic.
See how professional we are. But yeah, there's like a really bad hurricane right now. I don't know what's the name. What's the name of the hurricane right now?
It's like they always give it like Spanish names now. Like, what the fuck is up with that? Oh,
I guess you can bleep that out.
Yeah, bleep it out.
Isn't it like I think 2.5 minutes if you curse within 2.5 minutes and they like flag you past 2.5 minutes and it's like okay, I don't know. It's a weird algorithm.
YouTube wants you to wine and dine them.
Yeah.
Before you start dropping F-bombs.
Yeah. But actually, you're really good at not cursing. But I guess you forgot. But for me, Portugal, I say it's a trip, not a vacation, because I didn't go expecting to like relax and like sightsee. I just went and expected to just kind of spend time with her family, mostly her grandparents on both her maternal and paternal grandparents, and one side of the family just owns like farms, like legit like cow farms. They actually milk cows, or it's a dairy.
That's awesome.
I mean,
that's the dream.
On paper it's awesome, but when you're there, when you're there, you're like, oh, it's like lots of poop and lots of pee and lots of different smells and lots of flies. And not like flies like here, like regular flies, like house flies, where they kind of like fly around. They bother you, but their presence bothers you. There'd be a fly right there, and it could bother me. But like these flies will land on you, bite you. Like they're like, "Are you food?
They're ravenous.
Let me try to eat you." And it's like it was an interesting experience. I enjoyed it, believe it or not, but it was more like, oh, this is a process of how to take in or how to create or milk cows, and they have machines and everything, and there's nothing it's not like Pepperidge Farm and like, oh, there's fields of green and
buttermilk
and no, you don't, they're not like all happy. Like they're not. And then I asked one of her uncles, like, oh, so like you should visit New Jersey. He's like, this is what he legit said, how and like literally like that's just what they do. They farm they have corn, so they have acres and acres of like corn, but they don't really eat the corn. The corn is not for them to eat. The corn is for the cows to eat. They like ferment the corn and prep it, and then the cows eat the corn. So all the farmland they have is just, it's not for grazing, it's just for farming to feed the cows. That's it. And they have over 100, maybe 120 cows.
Wow.
I befriended one of them who was brown. It was the only brown cow. And I'm like, you're cute. I'm naming you Brownie. So our first sponsor is Nbox. Give your home-based business its own mailroom. View your open and scan mail from an encrypted app. Have it forwarded, held for pickup, or shredded and recycled. We'll even include a commercial business address to protect your privacy. Visit www.nboxdelivers.com to see more.
And for our next sponsor, we have Premier Rank Marketing.
They can help you out if you have a business, whether it's selling stuff online or you have a brick and mortar location, restaurants, gyms. The company's helped so many people during the pandemic grow their online presence. So if you need any help from social media to Facebook targeting campaigns, Google, LinkedIn, and all the other, even TikTok, they do TikTok ads. Just reach out to Premier Rank Marketing and let them know that WordsrTough sent you, and they'll hook you up with a huge discount. Our third sponsor here, we have Worldwide Solutions, located in Clifton. They do taxes, travel, and insurance. Any type of business needs you have, they can even give you a good direction to go if you need some payroll services, things like that. And definitely check them out. Their info's right below. And our fourth sponsor is Rick's Barbershop in Garfield, New Jersey. If you have a important date coming up, you're going to a wedding, things like that, you're going to be photographed, definitely check them out. They're the most precise barbers in the area, and they'll definitely hook you up if you tell them WordsrTough sent you. Jose and David just mention those names, and they'll be like, no problem, right away. We'll hook you up. We just want to say thank you to all of our sponsors, and back to the show.
I think one cow was born over there, and it was I mean, I didn't see it happen, but I was told that the calf was born, and then the mom cow kind of just looked at it and just walked away. Like no.
Yeah, there's no.
There wasn't like a moment of like, oh, my baby. It kind of just looked at it and kind of just walked away, and it did bother one of the uncles, because he's kind of like, oh, he like wanted to see them bond for a bit, and the cow just walked away. Like, all right. But it was a very humbling. Like, I don't waste yogurt anymore. When I eat yogurt, I eat the whole thing now, because it's like, it was a task. I mean, we did sightsee a little bit. Mm-hmm. We went to like Porto and a few little spots. There was this one like a cod fishing museum, because my wife's grandfather, paternal grandfather, was a cod fisherman way back when. So she wanted to see like the history behind it, and that west coast of Portugal was a lot of cod fishing. They call it bacalhau. Okay. But I remember I'm Puerto Rican, we call it bacalhau.
Yeah.
But they call it bacalhau. I'm like, you're saying it wrong. But I have my thoughts about Portuguese. I don't dislike Portuguese. It just sounds like I'm gonna get people upset now. It just sounds like lazy Spanish. That's all it just sounds like to me. Especially Brazilian Portuguese, specifically. Like Portuguese from Portugal is a little bit more structured. I actually understand it better.
Yeah. What did you talk about, Brazilian Portuguese?
No, Portuguese from Portugal.
I understand actually better than Brazilian Portuguese?
Yeah.
Wow. Because I know Brazilian Portuguese is more like closer to Spanish.
Is it?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think once, you know what it is? It's when if you go to Texas, could you understand a person from Texas? Yes. But once you start speaking with each other in their, I guess, southern drawl and certain phrases or words, you'd be like, whoa, calm down. Like, what? I don't know what that means. I mean,
calm down.
Yeah, I was like, yo, calm down. No, like, I want to stay in the conversation. But similarly, it's like, as long as it's like, I hate to say proper, but I guess more, academic kind of Portuguese, I can get that because it's like very structured. But I'm gonna learn it. I'm trying to learn it little by little. But while I was there, I got into chess. I played a lot of chess.
Oh, nice.
I think I racked up I'm not joking, an average of 8 hours on my phone, which is a lot of screen time. And I ended up starting a chess club at my job, my school that I work at.
Oh, nice. Chess clubs are great.
And what else? Cows, piss.
I play a lot of chess. I don't know if you know that.
You told me that.
Oh yeah,
I
last time. Yeah.
I'm good enough to introduce it to somebody, but I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm on chess.com. I'm like 400.
I gotcha.
Which is like, nothing. I've been on it for I just got on chess.com maybe like 2 weeks ago, but while in Portugal, I just kind of played it on this like app, and I was winning the computer, and I'm like, this is a little bit too easy, because you can kind of manipulate the computer, but you can kind of anticipate it. But once you play somebody else, it's like,
Yeah.
You're an idiot or you're a genius. What's going on?
That's why they call chess the great equalizer. Because
they do.
I
thought jiu-jitsu was a great equalizer.
I would say it's the physical great equalizer.
Yeah. But why is
the mental? Brain. I guess just because it doesn't matter how rich or poor, or how smart or dumb.
Yeah. I think that's
I
think that's the similarity between jiu-jitsu and chess.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like you can have all the money in the world, but you can be terrible at chess.
Yeah.
I mean, I it's one of those things I really enjoy playing. I enjoy teaching the very they're parochial, very basic things like this is a rook, this is a knight, not a horsey, not a castle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Since I like the horsey, I'm like, it's not a horsey, it's a knight.
It's not a horsey.
It's not a horsey. But it's when did you get into chess? Like in high school?
I got into chess, in high school because of the chess club. And then another pro tip I was gonna give you: find someone that you don't like and let them beat you in chess, because then it will light a fire in you.
Find someone you don't like and let them. Wait, what if they don't play chess?
Just someone that plays chess. Find the person you least like,
and then beat you.
And let them beat you, and then they'll rub it in your face that you suck, and then you're like,
I noticed that a lot. There's a lot of trash talking in chess. I'm like, what in the I thought this was like a gentleman's. It's not like they're like, yo, you suck. Yeah, my students, I gotta tell them, you need to calm down with the trash talking. Not to me, but to each other.
Yeah, to each other.
Like
they're just doing a TikTok of destroying someone.
I'm not joking. One kid legit flipped that one meme where you just flip the table.
Yeah.
One kid at the end of the game, he just flipped it. I'm like, okay, let's not do that. Let's not flip whole chessboards. But it's a very I like anything that sort of challenges my brain, but it doesn't require me to do. I love jiu-jitsu, but it requires me to be at a specific place at a specific time.
Yep.
Chess, I can just play as long as I have Wi-Fi, I can play a game real quick against anyone in the world.
Yeah, and you know what about jiu-jitsu too? With chess, you dictate your pace, and the other person dictates their pace. But jiu-jitsu, you're dictating each other's pace.
Yeah, there's none of that. Unless you're like Gordon Ryan or a top level guy, you're not. One guy usually dictates the pace, and the other guy just prays that the suffering ends.
Yeah,
but it's a very I like it a lot, and I've some friends from jiu-jitsu actually donated some boards and which was really nice of them. But overall, it was going back to the Portugal trip. Overall, it was enlightening. It was fun. I enjoyed learning about other cultures and histories. And Portugal, it wasn't my top places to go to is I've been to Paris. I've been to Germany. I've been to the Netherlands. I've been to Italy and England, and but Portugal wasn't one of the places I want to go there. It was just kind of, I'm like, oh, okay, I never thought of actually visiting, and I did, and it's nice. One thing I noticed, and it could be a generational thing, I didn't see many beards
in Portugal.
Yeah,
really?
It's a generational thing, but the area I was staying in was it's much older generation, and not one person had a beard. No one. And then I'm walking around and I see some local people, and they kind of give me a double take. One, I don't look Portuguese.
Yeah, who's this bearded dark guy?
Who's this bearded brown guy? It was this weird thing. I told him, I was yeah, every time you go to go to a shop or something, people give me a double take, and they're like, it's probably because you have a beard. And really, and I'm like, oh yeah, there's no one in this area has the farm area that had beards. It's I think it's just low maintenance. It's just easier to just shave because you're dealing with dirt and you're working.
Yeah.
So it makes sense. Until we went to the city, Porto, then I was like, oh okay. Here are the young people with beards. Okay, cool.
Yeah, and I feel being on the farm though, you'd want to grow the beard, right? That's what I would think.
Things get dirty fast.
So you get
hair
a bunch
gets
of
dirty fast.
cow dust in your beard.
Cow. How much time we have? Are we past?
Yeah, 14 minutes.
Oh, there's a lot of cow shit in there. You're gonna have cow shit everywhere. And yeah, and it's and it was a good. It wasn't like this like super industrial, but it was a legit farm, like cow farm, and each cow can really fill a tank, like this like huge, like maybe like 15-gallon vat by itself, and they do it every cow twice a day.
And then what do they do? Do they like
and then that transfers into this humongous
export the milk?
Well, they put it into another humongous like stainless steel like truck size like cylinder vat, and then a truck comes to them, they buy it, and then they transfer that into whatever.
Yeah, that's great.
And how much do they get? They didn't give me all like the money details.
Yeah,
but they've been doing it for years.
Since not that kind of podcast.
Yeah, let's talk about.
Let me see their books.
How to make money.
I want to see the P&Ls.
Yeah, but I appreciate milk a lot, and I have I teach private lessons in jiu-jitsu, and one of the guys I teach, I believe is vegetarian or vegan, I forget. And he's like, so don't you desire to like stop eating like cows and milk? I'm like, oh, not at all. I still plan on eating cows, and I mean they're adorable, but they're also yummy. I'm sorry. I don't know. It's one of those things where I don't stop eating the food. I appreciate it when I do eat it, so I'm less wasteful and I'm more selective when I do eat beef. I actually haven't eaten beef since, but actually not sure. That's not true. I ate beef one time, but so when I do eat it, so if I have like some steak or whatever, I eat the whole steak now. Before I kind of like leave a bit or two. I'm like, no, this is like it was a cute cow at one point.
A cute what?
A cute cow.
Oh, they said cat for a second. I'm like,
cow. But they're adorable.
Yeah, I just ate beef like 30 minutes ago. So. But it's funny because that reminds me, I just recently got into like a little verbal tussle with one of my close friends because he's vegan, and I was making fun of like, he shout out to my friend TJ. He was talking about
eat some protein.
He was talking about
from an animal.
No. He will go.
He's passionate.
He will go like. Well, let me tell you the story real quick.
Go ahead.
So he was telling me about one of his family members opened up a vegan donut shop, and we were arguing because I'm like, you know what? Some of those ingredients.
Are they out of business yet?
That's the kind of joke I made, but it was like lighthearted. It wasn't like serious, but. He kind of took it personal, and I was like, "Yeah, they probably taste like crap." And he was like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "They're natural ingredients," and I'm like, "Yeah, but when you're used to tasting, like, let's say if I drink a Coke every day and then I drink Diet Coke, it tastes different."
I mean, I don't like either, but the difference.
Yeah,
you can taste the
and
difference.
then even though I liked Coke, let's say I drink Diet Coke for a month and go back to Coke. At first, I might not like it, and it might be too strong. Like your taste buds change. You know?
Yeah.
So I'm like, maybe that first donut I have, I'm gonna be like, oh, but then
it's like cardboard.
If I'm eating it, I like it. People that are vegan like it because they're used to eating.
If you eat crappy food long enough, you're gonna like the crappy food.
And then he gets really angry. He's like, lettuce tastes like lettuce to everyone. I'm like, that's not my point.
Lettuce tastes like lettuce is lettuce. I don't know.
Anyway, he opened my eyes to something because I'm like, yeah. And then he got his meal, and I still kept prodding him a little bit, and I was like, oh. And he's like, that's what I think when I see your steak with blood poured out of it and pus.
It's yummy.
And I was like, oh shit, you know what? That's true. It does have fat and blood hanging out.
That's very yummy. It's very, very yummy.
Yeah.
But I actually do. And all seriousness, I love making fun of vegans, but I actually do respect them a lot. I respect the commitment, the sacrifice. I appreciate it. It's like, yeah. But what I don't agree with is like, don't tell me that this thing tastes better than the other. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Like,
you know what? I feel like they get like very like, you know how there's like people who are like super religious. And then there's like people.
You mean idiots?
Super religious. And then there's also the atheists that get mad at people who are like the really radical.
I call them zealots, like just extreme whatever you believe in, whatever it might be, to the extreme, that's like the part I'm like, okay, like calm down.
Yeah, there's people that are like that. That
whatever extreme
veganism,
ends, whatever spectrum extreme ends of whatever that is. I'm like, I'm fairly liberal, but like, when I know someone's like liberal, but they're like the extreme liberal, or I'm like, all right, like, dude, calm down. Or like, I have right wing friends and it's fine, but like, I've known some people that are super right wing, like they're like, they're making the frogs gay, Alex Jones, that spectrum. I'm like, I don't. Okay, do you like I call it? Do you boo boo? Do whatever you want. But how do you get to this point? Oh yeah, cows and vegans.
Yeah, what's hilarious? Have you seen Chris D'Elia? He does right wing Chris.
Yeah, he's like right wing Chris.
It's got to be like the funniest thing he's done.
Yeah, it's sort of because he is very liberal, but there's like when you're sort of pushing. He says you're pushing me to the right.
I'm on your side.
I'm on your side. Why are you pushing me to the right? Yeah.
And that's what I feel like too about the right. Like they just get burned by some like kind of liberal ideal. They feel like they attach it to like liberal people, and then they just like flip out. Like they'll find something and they'll be like, I'm right wing now, it's weird. Because I'm not like that. I look at the issues and I'm like, I could be conservative on one thing and like really liberal on another,
Yeah, like that one Chris Rock joke. Like it's a really old Chris Rock joke where it's like, for some issues, I'm liberal. For other issues, I'm conservative. You know, I'm not gonna repeat the joke because he might sue me for whatever. Rich people love suing poor people. Let's just be honest. That's true. But what was I saying? Yeah, one person did ask me, what did I think of Trump? And I'm like, well, I didn't really like him. It's like, oh, so you're a Biden guy. I'm like, I don't like him either. Like, just because I dislike one guy doesn't mean I like the other.
Exactly.
I dislike presidents overall. I really just not one president I actually liked.
And that's like the thing. Since COVID started, like it's like you have to be one thing or the other. Right. Like what is that?
What side are you on? And if you're not with us, you're against us. It's like
and that shows like a major sign of, not to be mean, but like it's
ignorance?
Not intelligent.
Ignorance.
It's
ignorance. Yeah. It's silly. But I mean, I don't know. I'm very like not like I'm like anarchist or whatever, but I'm just very anti-politics because it's like Nancy Pelosi, the whole thing about her husband having like the inside scoop on certain stocks, and it's like coincidence that for certain times he's like buying and selling specific stocks at specific times, and all of a sudden it's like spiking up. Oh, what a coincidence.
But you know what the bigger coincidence is why all of a sudden now they're paying attention, because it's a Democrat and a Nancy Pelosi. They've been doing this for generations.
They've been doing this forever.
And before it used to be the same person that used to do it, but then they outlawed it. And then the law became, it's just got to be your family member. Like, if they really wanted to get rid of it.
You can't do it, but your daughter or son can,
exactly.
or your husband or wife can. It's like, but that's stupid.
Yeah, if they really wanted to put a stop to it, nobody in your family can use insider information.
Or, hey, how about being in Congress? Just like being a president, you're going to do it for 4 years. You're going to be in Congress for only like 3 years. I don't think being in politics should be a lifelong career. I think it should be one of those, like, you do it
David,
for...
calm down. You get riled up.
I'm right, Chris. All right, Dave. But I think...
No more terms.
We're going to start a revolution right here in this podcast. Us two and our, 1,000 subs. But, what was I going to say? I lost my train of thought. I got so upset.
That there should be... terms on
yeah, it should be like just like there's a term limit of like being a president. You should have a term limit on like how long you be in Congress. There's been people in Congress for literally since like before I was born, and they're still in Congress.
Yeah.
How?
I feel like there should be some kind of rating system within the Congress where they could like take someone out if they really are terrible. Yeah, like they'd be like, we need this many votes Republican, this many Democrat, and this guy's out of here.
Oh, if everyone says this guy
this
sucks.
guy just sucks. Like get Idaho out of here.
We
need
vote for
Idaho.
somebody else. Speaking of politics, what's her name? Marjorie Taylor Greene is getting divorced.
Oh.
Which is interesting because like Actually, her husband's divorcing her. It's interesting. I was like, huh, that's not very Christian of you, is it? Margaret. Is it to be just Margaret Taylor? Or what's
I think it's Marjorie, no?
I call it Margaret.
Oh, you got Margaret? Okay.
Marge.
I could be wrong. It could be
Margie Green. I don't know. It's sad, but not really. It's like, yeah. I mean, would you? Who else? Would
I divorce her? Sure.
Yeah, I'd love to divorce her. I'd love to marry her just to divorce her. I don't think my wife will appreciate that joke, but she hasn't listened to this podcast anyway. I've asked her a bunch of times, "Do you actually listen to the podcast?" She's like, "No, why would I?" I'm like, "Good."
I think my girl listens to it, but she doesn't want me to know if she listens. You know, like,
hello, I'll eventually meet you one day. You're just downstairs watching Netflix, most likely. Actually, speaking of Netflix, I've watched this show called The Sandman.
Oh, okay.
Are you familiar with that? I
read about it, and I heard it's good.
But Neil Gaiman, when it came out, we were babies in the 80s. And I wasn't until... Actually, I was in Garfield. I was actually walking around the library. I don't know how old I was. I think I was like 11 or 10 years old. And they had like a little, like, not comic book section, but they had like little magazines and some like graphic novels, comic books. And they had like a Sandman comic, or rather graphic novel. And I didn't even read any of it. It's just the illustrations that I loved. And then kind of forgot about it. And then as I grew older, I was like, oh, that one Sandman, not show, graphic novel's pretty prominent. So I kind of read it. I never bought one. I bought a actual graphic novel. I'll read it online. Mm-hmm. And then they actually have a show about it now on Netflix. It's pretty great. It's pretty awesome. And you know what they did? Which is not, I won't say it's genius. It's kind of common sense. You know what they did?
What they do?
The people that made this show actually hired Neil Gaiman, the guy that wrote the books.
Oh, there you go. See?
That's not genius. That's common sense. Hey, if you wanna create a show off of like a book, a novel, whatever. Hey, if the writer is still alive, hire him. He'll help you out. The show will be better, not worse. It's not an adaptation. It's like literally like you're watching the comic or the graphic novel like in live action.
Yeah. Hey, show, hire the writers.
Hey,
hire the original writers.
Yeah, I'm serious. It's and if they say, hey, we, if you can't afford them, then maybe you just don't have the money to make that show. Or they say no. Like, respect it, I guess. It is their property. Should we be transparent on, like, what we're doing while we're talking? Or what we're doing while you're...
No. But I think, speaking of Netflix, it's funny you mentioned that. I actually ran out, and I was hoping when I went to go pick up something at CVS that I would find a very cheap set of aviators.
Oh, okay.
Because I've been watching a show that's really popular right now. You know what show I'm talking about?
Aviator show.
The new Dahmer series?
JoJo Bizarre Adventure? What?
No. The new Dahmer series?
Yeah, I have thoughts about that. I might watch it, but I'm not going to enjoy watching it.
It was really good.
Yeah.
I highly suggest watching it.
But I won't enjoy it. But it's not in
the, like serial killer,
genre?
No, I mean, it's not in, like, the...
Horror?
How people are saying that people are, like, not praising him, but, like, what's it called?
Glorifying him? Glorifying, empathizing.
Yeah. No, but it's really good.
Yeah.
Definitely.
This is where I'm, like, torn is... I love art. I'm an artist. You're an artist. I try, or at least I try to be. I think I am. I don't even know anymore, but... but thinking is, okay, is it nearsighted or how do you say insensitive? And this is me without watching it. I'm gonna watch it eventually. Is trying to kind of put myself in like the shoes of the relatives or friends of people that knew or were related to the victims. Like, were they kind of like considered when making this show? Not that you have to, because you don't need I don't think you really need permission at the end of the day. It's nice, but were they considered when making the show? And maybe they did, maybe they didn't. I don't know. But my worry, and just like, the movie The Joker, is to not, I guess not humanize, because, Dahmer is a human, but to not make the obvious, I guess in lack of a better word, bad guy empathetic, or, like, oh, this is why he would do it. See? It's like, don't try to justify it. I guess show it, but don't necessarily, like, justify a person's, like, murderous behavior.
Yeah.
I mean, do you think they do that?
No, that's what I was going to say without any spoilers. I think they do a good job of highlighting...
presenting it.
The victims, like, humanity. And also, they do a really good job of highlighting why it was of an important social issue back then and things like that, even though people were trying to make it out to not be one.
I mean, I know the story, not the show, because obviously they might highlight certain things in the show or not, but like, I remember, I think he got murdered in jail. Spoiler alert, if you didn't know this, he was murdered in jail by a black guy. And that matters because a lot of his victims happen to be black and hers. And
minorities,
mostly minorities. Until he killed one white guy, and then they're like, "Hey, you can't do that."
He actually, the first time,
it was white. It was white,
but and then when he was young.
And then there was like a break. He took a break for like 10 years. He took a sabbatical.
Yeah, yep.
And then there was like, I think 90, 91 was when he like really went at it. I think he killed like 6 people in like a year. Just I don't know. I can't. Then again, people think I'm kind of crazy because I do jiu-jitsu and I enjoy choking people out and whatever. But I'm not. It's not. I don't. This is really bad in that like comparison. But like, I don't know. You have to be some type of human being to do that, not just one time, but like over and over and over again, and then having fun with them after, which I'm not gonna say. He had fun after, in his way, after he killed them. That is sad.
Yeah, no.
But do you suggest watching it?
It is, yeah, definitely. The actor, I forget his name, but he's in American Horror Story.
Yeah, he played Quicksilver in the X-Men movie. He also played Quicksilver in WandaVision. I think he's a better version of Quicksilver than the other guy, but he's a good actor though.
He is really good. Yeah, he's really good in the series, and I highly recommend it for sure.
Anything else? Any other recommendations?
I've just been watching that a lot, and
just lots of killing,
just on repeat.
Lots of serial. Actually, I try to keep count of like how many times you said the word "kill" in the last episode. It was well over 50 times. It was we said the word "kill" a lot, and I'm like, I don't know if this is gonna like people are gonna watch this or the algorithm is gonna let us like put this out there. But luckily, we got a good amount of views for that one.
Yeah, we had some. They let us slide.
I guess. I don't know. We'll see what happens for this one because he did drop a F-bomb like in like 30 seconds. But I'm now watching JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and it's an interesting show.
It's on Netflix?
It's on Netflix.
Okay.
All 5 seasons. Myself and my wife made a mistake, and we just pressed play, and it started playing in the last season. And mind you, this show's been going around for like maybe like, I don't know.
It's an American show?
Well over 20 years. It's an anime.
Oh, it's an anime. Okay.
Yeah, and it's very in the name. It's very bizarre, very 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 bizarre. I won't even bother explaining it because like I'll be completely wrong. But it's a very interesting story about this family lineage that have special powers, and every season is like a different family member, a different generation from that family, and they have special powers, and people try to kill them.
Okay.
That's all I'm gonna say. It's very weird. But speaking of jiu-jitsu, did you watch or hear about Abu Dhabi ADCC?
Yeah.
The Abu Dhabi Combat Club.
Yeah, and then you know it's funny that you mentioned that because I was out that night, And
which is a Sunday. It was at the finals.
Yeah,
or,
the finals. The day that Gordon Ryan wrestled. That he grappled.
That was not a grappling match.
Yeah.
He destroyed. I mean, I met Andre Galvao 3 times. Nice guy, but it wasn't very competitive.
Yeah, and
I'm well respected Andre Galvao, but
it was taking place in Vegas, so it actually happened really late. Like I fell asleep right before that match, but
yeah,
there was someone out. I was out at a place, and someone was watching it on their phone. They were like, "That Gordon Ryan went, just swept through the
destroyed."
division."
He beat. So he had his weight division. He beat everybody. He didn't. I think his second match he won 8-0, which is a huge score at that level. But everyone else he's submitted, and then after his submission of Nicky Rodriguez, they call him Nicky Rod. His last name is Nicholas Rodriguez. Okay. And but it's not gonna there. But he submitted all of them except for one guy. Then later that night he had another match, a super match against Andre Galvao, who he a year prior just slapped the shit out of him in one of like a backstage altercation.
I saw that, yeah.
Like, hand of God, just bah. And there was a back and forth, and I don't know why he slapped him. But at the end of the match, they were very respectful, which is nice to see. But it wasn't a very competitive match. Not that like, Andre just kind of wilted. Not that obviously he held his own for 12 minutes, I think, something like that. I forget, but Gordon was never threatened ever at all. It looked like a bit of a clinic, but after that, I'm like, yeah, like before I knew he was legit, but now I'm like, there's not much question. Maybe he's definitely the best in no-gi right now, and ever, I think so. No-gi, he won Abu Dhabi, this ADCC, which for those who don't know, it's like the equivalent of almost like the Olympics of like grappling. Happens every other year. But he's won it 3 times, 3 different weight classes, and submitted the majority of almost all his opponents, and then now beating Andre Galvao, who's like also multiple time champion, multiple time like super fight champ, and beating him with a large degree of ease. It's kind of like, yeah, I don't think there's much for him to prove, other than keep winning these matches until, I don't know. I'm not gonna say prayer because I don't really pray. I told my friend I pray that he doesn't just like get a heart attack in his 30s and like I want him to continue succeeding, because those things happen almost like John Jones, who you love to hate.
Yeah.
It's kind of one of those things like, you're so good, don't screw it up. Like don't. And John Jones obviously, like, I don't know, like, are you fighting or you're not fighting? Just pick something. Stop talking crap online and Twitter. Just go fight now. I think you gain enough weight. But similar to Gordon Ryan, they're obviously very different individuals, different sport altogether, but like, I'm hoping like he continues succeeding and making like the right decisions to be better. I mean, I think if I met him in person, I might like him. But I do think the persona he puts off online is very not my kind of cup of tea. It's kind of a bit of a troll. So he's from New Jersey. I know it's kind of weird. My friend is friends with people that knew him in high school, and they all kind of say, yeah, he was a bit of a nerd. Not that nerd is bad. I'm a bit of a nerd too. It's not this. But, like, it's like the best combination of like a very smart guy, a bit of a recluse, kind of antisocial, that's discovered something that he's like super smart in, excels in, and physically very capable. It's like he has all those ingredients to be very successful in grappling. Or honestly, I think whatever he does, he'll be successful at. Because there's some guys that are very athletic but not really bright.
That's true.
They're not. You talk to them, and you're like, you're not that bright. You're great. You're tough. You're great and skillful, but but Gordon Ryan, you can tell he's very, very smart. Like, he's not a dumb guy. But I remember he reminds me of this one kid I knew in high school. I chat with him here and there. I don't think I spoke to him in a while, but his name was George Morris. And he was one of those kids where he was super smart, like an AP student. If he was wearing a hoodie or just a regular like long sleeve T-shirt, you would have not known that he was just jacked. Super smart kid. And then one time I was in a gym in the school, and then he walks in, takes off his hoodie, and he's just like Diesel. And I'm like, you're smart and you're jacked? That's not fair. And the way he worked out, I was like, oh, so he's actually super smart. He's not just like lifting heavy weight and just throwing it over his shoulder or whatever. Like, and he like showed me like a few tips, like, okay, this is how you curl. This is how you like, bench correctly. Like, like you tuck in your elbows, and then I'm like, oh, okay. So Gordon Ryan's similar to that. Like, his smarts connect with his jiu-jitsu skill and technique very well, that I don't see him losing anytime soon. Maybe not ever, to be honest. I think I might even put money on that. Like, he might not lose ever again. Yeah,
I'm excited to see what the next super fight's going to be.
Well, in 2 years.
Yeah. I'm just saying, like, who is he going to set his sights on?
It's going to be the I have it right here. Who won? Yuri Simões.
Oh, okay.
Simões. I don't know. SIO with a little like wiggly squiggly thing. ES.
Gotcha.
wiggly squiggly thing. I think it was one of the first ADCCs where like the Brazilians didn't sweep everything. Like, they obviously like competed and did well, but I think the majority were like Americans that kind of. And then there was Fionn Davies, who I met briefly one time when I visited Essential Jiu-Jitsu. She was training there. I just said hi, shook her hand, and walked away. Because I was like, I'm just here visiting just to kind of train just for fun. And then, like, half of this room is trying to, like, compete in Abu Dhabi in, like, a month. What am I doing here? And it was one of those feelings, like, even though I'm a black belt in Jiu-Jitsu and I've been doing it for, like, almost like 14, 15 years now. I felt so out of place because, like, I'm not a competitor, or I stopped being a competitor a long time ago. So I'm walking in, and JT's like, yo, what's up, man? I'm like, hey. I'm like, he's like, you picked a terrible day to train today. I'm like, I'm here because I want to learn, how this competition class, not really class, competition session takes place or how it works. I learned a lot, but there's definitely levels to like competition. I gotta do it one time, maybe 2 times, but like doing that like every day, multiple sessions a day, it's tough. It's super, super tough.
Yeah, I agree. A lot of those people, like, I guess you just like train so hard that it's just you just could compete. Like, just continue. You just stay ready. Yeah. And then you just ramp it up with people that compete when it's coming up, I guess, right? Like, that's kind of like the simple version.
Like, I'm just kind of casual walking in, and everyone's like so zoned in and focused. But the first like 45 minutes was just warming up, 45 minutes of just warm ups, like push ups and like drills and this and that. And there's a point when we were doing like double legs and penetration steps and this and that. And they'll pick a partner, and I just kind of look around, look to my left, and there's just like guys about a little bit taller than me, just like boulder shoulders, kind of bald. And I'm like, hi. And then he's like, hey, I'm Thor. I'm like, okay. And and I didn't realize that it was the guy that he actually pulled out of Abu Dhabi because he got injured like a week before. But I'm like, oh, I've seen videos of this guy just like destroyed people, and not very tall, but just a very round shoulders, round arms, round everything. But it was a humbling experience. And it's pretty cool seeing the people that I actually trained a little bit with actually competing at this like big, the world is watching, or the grappling world rather is watching. It's pretty cool. Like, oh yeah, I joined that guy or trained that girl. That's pretty cool. Yeah. Briefly. Not. I was not in any way winning any of those matches. Not at all. But
yeah, I mean, it's definitely a whole different world, man.
And what's your status with jiu-jitsu?
Still not back, but I am back to the gym.
Still not back.
And I've kind of dove headfirst into that. I'm doing really well in that this month since I got back to from vacation.
Yeah, you're not just like curling weights, but you're just doing like squats. Like, what's your?
Yeah, no, I'm doing the full body workout. You know, like I'm doing
like bro splits.
I'm doing like 5 days, so 5 days a week. So yeah, it's pretty much like kind of like bodybuilding style, but I'm taking a more like strength training approach. You know, like. But yeah, I'm just starting with that, and then I've been getting the urge, you know, when I ramp up how many times I'm training, then I'm like throw something else in there. I'm hoping either jiu-jitsu or that kickboxing school that I went and trained at.
Yeah, you mentioned that before.
Yeah, so
like 2-3 episodes ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so.
But you know how many people, and like my stepbrother's one of them, and like a handful of other friends for years they've been telling me, hey, I want to get into jiu-jitsu. In the past, like when I was much younger, like back in like 2010, I was like super excited, like, yeah, come on, you know, it'd be super fun. I'll text you, might even pick you up, yada yada. Mm-hmm. Now when someone says I want to get jiu-jitsu, I'm like, do you? Cool. When do you train? Like, or I'll come by. Listen, just tell me when you're training, and I might not be there, but just let me know. I just don't have the zeal. I don't know. I guess because I got burned so many times with people like, yeah, when I get jiu-jitsu, like, great, I'll buy you a gi. Like, I'm the dumbass. Like, yeah, I'll buy you a gi, and then like a week later they're like, yeah, I don't think I could do it. I'm like, but I bought you a gi, man. I don't know. You can like watch it, like, but you're like a A4. I'm like an A1. You know, which is like the triple XL.
Yeah.
Anyway, how do we conclude this thing? We don't even. But yeah. No, we don't. But within, I don't know, a month, we've been getting a lot of subs, which is pretty cool. I don't know what you're doing, but we're getting a lot of subs.
Yeah, we're advertising more.
And likes and views and all that, which is nice.
Yeah, we're getting close to the monetization, so, you know, we're just pushing the advertising a little more.
Yeah, I think most of it is going to go straight to just, like, breaking even for you. Put that straight back to your budget.
Yeah, but, you know, like I told my friend, you know.
The vegan friend?
No. One of my other friends. Like, you never know. You know, like, once we start doing different types of content, there's a video 3 years from now that might hit the algorithm the right way, you know? It might just... And then, since you're already monetized, you'll start making money off these videos.
I just rubbed the algorithm nipples. Is this what you want?
Yeah, that's what happens. Yeah, you just got to go with that, you know.
You gotta find that algorithm, how the algorithm likes being caressed.
Yeah,
you gotta really say the right thing, do the right thing.
Yeah, and I heard they really
the right thumbnail
when you subscribe and like and comment.
Yeah,
so definitely do that.
I mean, I subscribe to ourselves. That's nice. I like the one. I'll be honest. I actually do like. I was like, oh, it popped up again. Like, I do, but when I respond to like comments with it, which is rare, it's here and there. I actually respond from my account. Mm-hmm. I respond, not the general WordsrTough.
Yeah, I think that's good.
You know, so it's like me.
Yeah, like they could reach out to you.
Yeah,
you know?
I gotta figure out your secret because I need some subs for my page, but we'll see. But I think I can say it now because it's past ADCC. So my friend JT Torres, who's sadly not sad. I mean, is this sad? I was really hoping for him to win a third Abu Dhabi, and obviously he was aiming for it too. There's nothing to hang your head over winning ADCC twice, which is like a pretty big accomplishment. Also running his own school and all that. That's a pretty big accomplishment. I was really rooting for him. Sadly, he lost in the second round. Against a guy that eventually got fourth. I think it's like Eddie Bravo guy. So we had an agreement some time ago that he's gonna come on, but he was training, so I didn't want to like mess his flow up like that. But since it's done and over with, we'll see when he can come by and chat.
Yeah, hopefully that'll open up the floodgates for our guests
That too. And then also I am inviting his wife Yolanda to come on because I when I visit their school and see their dynamic, it's like that's cool. I like seeing like a couple really like not just being a couple but being like a team. They're like a team, and it's like really cool how they support each other and like really, you know, build each other up. And also like I think she's not even from New Jersey. I think she's from California. So like her, I think her moving over is like, you know, that's a commitment. But the fact that they were able to build with JT's obviously work ethic and knowledge and jiu-jitsu and just being overall great guy, but also overall badass in jiu-jitsu, and then like his wife being supportive and like not running but like really like putting together that, you know, school and all that logistics stuff, and where they are now and like 5 years later, it's where they're like, it's like pretty amazing. And I kind of want them to talk about like how does that work, being not just spouses but also like being like a better word, business partners. And it somehow not falling apart, because that happens where like you want to build a business with a friend and it's like you hate your friend after like 3 weeks. Like, yo, dude, I can't.
Yeah, people. That's why they always say don't mix business with pleasure. Cause,
right.
You know.
So I'm not. I mean, it is about. Oh, here is the train coming. I'm pretty sure you can hear it. But I guess my thing is not so much talk about jiu-jitsu, which is going to be a thing, but like how do you build a business? Because jiu-jitsu is a business, like with a spouse. Like, what's the pros? What are the cons? What are the obstacles? You know. I mean, I still don't know what category we are in podcasts. We're not comedy. I know that for sure, because I'm not funny at all. And I mean, you've attempted stand up once or twice.
Yeah, and it's still something I'm attempting to do. But now that I'm, you know, my girl's expecting a baby.
Oh yeah, I was waiting for you to mention that. I didn't want to say anything until you.
My, you know, we are expecting a baby girl in January.
So it's a great time to just disappear.
Yeah, that's the perfect time to just go out
into the
late
night.
At night and just disappear into the night.
Terrible timing.
Yeah, so I'm gonna pick and choose. You know.
Makes sense.
Yep. Yeah, I'm just focusing right now on the gym again and being more active, and then from there, you know, start putting other things in there.
I like it. It's a plan. I'll try to hold you accountable, I think. Cool. So I don't know. That's episode 34 in the bag.